Previously on the road to SEMA.
We found the vehicle on eBay, as silly as it may sound. Of course, it was a train wreck, like most 50-year-old vehicles. It typically takes us between a year and a half to complete a car. I do believe this Blazer will probably take a little bit longer because we're really trying to put it over the top.
There's always a deadline. When you talk about having to get done for SEMA, the fact that we're trying to get this done so quickly definitely makes it a lot more difficult.
The stress level being high, yes, but we all work together pretty well.
I know that between now and then it's going to be stressful. My daddy always said, don't saddle up to come in second place. If you're not going to win, don't go. Every single build is unique, but the process is probably considered the same. In the world of what we do, when it really becomes a bad thing is when you take it apart. That's when you find all of the imperfections and things that people did over the years to keep their car on the road, but not necessarily to build it to any kind of quality level.
Because it's such a high-end build in like the Corvettes, everything has to be as close to new as possible.
Oh, the entire car was junk. And that's the way it gets sometimes. You know, you get into these cars and you don't really know what's underneath that, you know, half-rotted paint until you sandblast it off. Unfortunately, with this one, there was not a lot that was salvageable.
No such thing as a quick tear down. No, every tear down is different, but they're never quick. Some things come apart easy. Some things you think are going to come apart easy completely go south and are just a nightmare. So there's not a normal either way.
We inspect the vehicle to know what we have to order for parts to start out with. So like, we know going in that there's going to be quite a bit of sheet metal that ends up getting replaced. You hope that you can save some, and sometimes you find out that there's not a lot to save when it's all said and done.
The amount of stuff we're using off the car, it's almost, you know, comical. I mean,
if something's scratched, it can't be buffed. There's a little bit of rust on it, and if you sandblast it, it has pits. You're better off going with a new part so that it's brand new and has the aesthetics of being brand new, especially on a higher Blazer like this.
You know, it has new floors in it, it has new quarters in it, it has new cowl panel. It's, you know, it was rough.
Cars don't have happy personalities. The only personality a car can have is hateful. Okay. And what I mean by personality is they're just going to fight you.
Yeah, I've had people tell me that, you know, everybody looks good when they got their clothes on, but once you take all the skins off, it doesn't look so good anymore. So that's really what we do.
It can't help you get it done. It can only prevent you from getting it done, right? Like,
you start with the floor. You jig up the floor. We typically do it on a chassis, an original chassis. And then you just start adding the components necessary to complete it, whether it's a quarter panels or firewall. You start on the ground and you work your way back. So the closest parts to the chassis is where you start, and then you work off of that.
We're fortunate with Art Morrison with their chassis. They're pretty much bolt-on setup. You have to maybe minor fabrication, but overall it goes pretty smooth.
What we're trying to do is we're trying to get that body in primer and then put it on the chassis.
We'll be in the fabrication stage the first time we set the body on the chassis. In fact, within a week or two of us finally receiving the chassis, we had the body on the chassis because we had to know what fit.
Once you fit it and you have everything fitted, then you blow the car apart back to nothing again, and you send out the chassis to get powder coated. You have to mock it up. So the engine, the tranny, the transfer case, that's all in it.
But more importantly, it gives you an idea of the ride height, lets you step back and look at what the car is actually going to look like when you walk up to it and it's complete. Next, on the road to SEMA, everyone has their own way of letting off steam. And
like last week, we got an oh shit moment.
When things go wrong and emotions are high, you know, I think the best thing that I've always done is just step away for a minute and just cool off.
And then I can drive them all nuts because I'll make a change and say, oh, I want to add this. And then it changes the layers and Steve will blow a gasket.
If you don't just put one foot in front of the other, it's real easy to lose morale because at this stage, everything is in front of you and it can feel really overwhelming.